Hello again. What is it about viruses jumping from animals to humans? You go for years without hearing about such a thing, and then three come along together. COVID and bats, monkeypox and monkeys, and now the Langya virus and shrews. Until a couple of years ago, I'll warrant that none of us had even heard of animal viruses leaping in this way to humans, but we're all of us now thoroughly familiar with this concept. We take it for granted these days that one day bats in China are feeling a bit poorly, they wake up with a cough and a sore throat, and the next thing you know, humans will be staggering off to doctors with the same symptoms. Did this always used to happen and we didn't take much notice of it, or is it a genuinely new thing? Something about the business is making me slightly suspicious, and that is that this kind of thing, which is known technically as zoonotic infection, is being explicitly tied in with global warming, which seems to explain so much of the undesirable stuff we're seeing in the world today. The Guardian newspaper tells us that infectious disease experts have long warned that the climate crisis and the destruction of nature will increase the risk of viruses being transmitted from animals to humans in events known as zoonotic spillovers. As usual, I give links both to this quotation and one or two other pieces on the subject in the description to this video. The list of things which can be blamed on climate change appears to me to be growing by the day. Illegal immigration to Britain. Their countries are ravaged by climate change, and so they seek refuge further north. Rising electricity bills. We need to ditch fossil fuels to avert climate change. Hosepipe bans. Climate change is causing more drought in Britain. COVID. Well, infectious disease experts have long warned that the climate crisis and destruction of nature will increase the risk of viruses being transmitted from animals to humans. Offhand, I cannot think of any modern problem for which global warming has not been blamed. If I were a suspicious person and prone to belief in conspiracy theories, I might start to think that all these various things are linked together, and that the sudden emergence of strange viruses which have their source in wild animals has nothing at all to do with climate change. I might ask how climate change could possibly explain why monkeypox is suddenly endemic in this and other countries in the West, after having been restricted to West Africa since its identification years ago. I know very well that another epidemic caused by viruses is going to be announced soon, and that we will then become so preoccupied with this that we shan't notice anything else that our government is up to. I don't really believe at all that the price of electricity and COVID are both caused by global warming. I think that there is another agenda. I do know that a disaster is looming here in Britain in the next few months, and that rather than dying because of some heat wave, many people in this country are going to be dying of the cold in winter, simply because they cannot afford to heat their homes. In the meantime, the Langya virus, which so far has only affected 30 or 40 people in China, is certainly one to watch, because I'd be very surprised indeed if we don't start seeing cases in countries near to China, places like Singapore or Australia, say.